Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, Japanese. I have one section of English language arts, and over the summer, I teach WANIC summer health. And today, I'm going to talk about some of the vocabulary games that we do in summer health. Now, summer health, of course, is an interesting animal. We take 90 hours of a semester and we cram it down into 3 weeks. So the students really need to know their vocabulary and they need to know it quickly. So again, this is my blitz of a day. School starts at 8, ends at 3. I get there around 7 so I can set up for the day, and I stay until about 4 so I get all the grades in and set up for the next day. And yes, there's a lot of setup because I'm crazy. So here you can see I've got a vocabulary game right here, right around 8:30, and another vocabulary game around 12:05, 12:10, somewhere thereabouts. Because that vocabulary is really crucial. Now, I've been teaching a long time, and when I first started teaching, I printed all my game cards really tiny, thinking I'm going to save paper. It saved paper, but it didn't save time because it meant I had to spend a long time cutting things out. So nowadays, I print things really huge, really, really huge. I can just go slice, 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 and then the kids don't lose them. So this first picture here is a picture of before I learned my lesson, and you can see how tiny this is. So do as I say, not as I do. Make them big for your own sanity. You won't lose them. The kids won't lose them, and it's much easier to cut out, okay? But everything's printed on cardstock so I can use it year to year, and these health cards I've been using now for, I don't know, 9, 10 years? Okay, so the first one is quiz, quiz, trade. And I love quiz, quiz, trade. This is a Kagan technique. Each student has either one of the vocabulary words or the definition on these cards. And they walk around the room and they find another student, any student at all. And if he's got a vocabulary word, he says that to this person, and this person has to give the definition. This person might have another vocabulary word, they might have a definition, and let's say they have a definition. They say the definition, and he has to say the vocabulary word, okay? When they agree that what they have is correct, that, oh, you defined it correctly. No, that wasn't the right vocabulary word, try again. If they have any questions, they call me over. Usually I've put myself in the game, so I'll be there in a second anyway, but if they have any questions, they come to me. But if once they both agree this is correct, then they trade cards. So that was the quiz part. Now they trade cards, and then they turn around and find other people to go talk to. So one card should make it around the room about 3 times in 5 minutes. And when these two people say goodbye, thank you for the card, he should be an expert at whatever card she was holding, and she should be an expert at whatever card he was holding. Or they shouldn't leave each other until they know exactly what it is. And that way, when they come up to a new partner, they know what's on the card and they can coach the new partner through it. So again, I could just stand in the corner of the class or the middle of the class usually and just eavesdrop, which sometimes I do when they're going well. But generally, I like to put myself in the game, and that way it's a great formative assessment for how are the students doing. I can come up to this person and ask him, oh, I've got a definition. What the powerhouse of the cell? And he says mitochondria. And I say, good job. And then he asks me something and I give the definition and he says, good job. And we trade cards, and then I can go on to someone else. And the beauty of this is my health class is capped at 32 people, but sometimes I have more than 32 cards. And so this way I can say, that card was too easy for everyone, it looks like, and I can switch out the cards. Or I can give extra coaching when they need extra coaching. So I do like to put myself in the game. Now, for my language classes this year, I'm finding that quiz, quiz, trade isn't holding up as well as it has for the past, 20 years I've been doing it. If the students are really socially anxious and they get into little bubbles and they won't get out of their bubbles, even when I put myself in the game to try and, hey, you know what? Fred hasn't talked to you yet. Why don't you go talk to Fred? I just can't get them to do it. So I'm switching out quiz, quiz, trade more often with my language classes than I do normally. And I'm wondering how my health class is going to be this summer. But anyway, this is one of my backups. when the students kind of, they get a little jaded about quiz trade. This is another Kagan technique. This is called fan and pick. This is, I give each table a group of cards, and then one student is going to fan the cards, one student's going to pick the card and read what's on it, one student's going to answer the card, one student is going to say, oh, not quite, try again, or is going to say, great job, you did it. Okay, so, and then I was thinking about this. I was like, well, sometimes I don't want to just like print up cards for every table. I've got my quiz trade cards I want to use. So I thought I could roll the dice, I could spin the spinner, I could draw straws for any of these rolls. And what I finally decided for my language classes was I was just going to make cards. And I hand this set of cards to each table. So I've got 6 table groups of 36 students apiece in my language classes. My health class, again, is capped at 32 students. So these cards, I'm like, here are the cards, put them face down, okay? Some of these cards says remove this card if absent, because a couple of my classes I don't have 36 students, I have 34 students, so each table group doesn't have 6 people. And of course my health class has 32 students, so there's not every table group has 6 in it, so just remove that card. So I haven't felt the need to print these for my health class or my English class. I just use the Spanish or the French or the Japanese cards or whatever, because, I've got the instructions right here in English anyway, and I can explain it. So what the students do is they put these cards face down, they shuffle them up, and then everybody grabs a card, and then that's their roll. And sometimes, yes, sometimes somebody's going to be student number 3 4 times in a row. That's okay. That's fine. Everybody's really involved in this, so this works really well. Go Fish is a great game, and I wasn't expecting it to be a great game, because for me, Go Fish was always like a kindergarten game, and then once you got to first grade, you'd kind of outgrown it. But I guess young whippersnappers these days don't play it, and so it's very novel to them, and they love it. This is a picture I snapped when my Spanish class had gone south, and we were working on food words, and they just weren't remembering it. And I was like, I need a game really quick. Oh, food. There's a fish on one of these cards. Yeah, sure, Go Fish. Let's try that. So that worked so fabulously that I do it with all my classes now, and they all really love Go Fish. And my health classes are no exception. So I've got definitions on one card and terms on another card, and these are the same cards we've been using for everything else, so I don't have to print it again. And the students just, hey, Bob, do you have the powerhouse of the cell? Bob says, yes, I do. And he gives it to him, and he takes his mitochondria card and puts it with the powerhouse of the cell, and that's their match. Okay. I did not make a separate slide for it. I don't know why. Let me pause and do that right now. Here we go. I don't know why I didn't think of doing this. So you can take those card sets that you've got, the subject and the term and the definition, and you can make a little memory game. Students like doing that. They don't like doing it every single day, but as a change of pace, you just have them put it face down and try to match up the subjects and the subjects. I keep saying subject. Trying to make them match up the term and the definition. $20,000 pyramid. I like playing with my language classes a lot because it gives them circumlocution practice, but health class likes it too. Make sure they only have the term cards, and then they have to explain the term without using the term. So they're giving a definition, and everybody else at their table is guessing. So I never do this whole class. I do this one table by table because I don't like people being passive, waiting their turn. And at least if it's table by table, there's maximum of 6 people at a time. Hanafuda is a game I play in my Japanese class. I would never play this in my French class. I would never play this in my Spanish class because I feel very, very solidly that language is culture. And so I want to introduce the culture with all the games that we play. But, health class is a different beast entirely. I do have some students coming from other school districts who are taking Japanese or taking French or taking Spanish, but also, it's a health class. It's not about culture, it's about your personal health. So Hanafuda is a great game to kind of just break up the monotony of studying vocabulary. So these are the rules. Okay. So you put 8 cards face up in the middle of the group. They could be any, the terms, the definitions, whatever. And everybody in the group gets 8 cards. And I have plenty of terms and definitions and stuff. There's more than enough for a game. If there's not, then just say 5 instead of 8 or whatever. Whoever's going to start, they look at their top card. Does it match any of the 8 cards in the middle? And if it doesn't match, they don't have any match whatsoever, then they're going to discard that card that they had on the top. And they're going to take another card and add it to the middle. Does it match anything that they have? Nope. It's the next player's turn. So they're trying to make as many matches as they can. In Japan, this gets very intense. In health class, not so intense, but it's a fun, different way to practice the vocabulary. Let me just do a couple more. Let me pause right here because I'm at 10 minutes and I will break this video into 2 videos and we'll talk about more vocabulary games in the next one.